How did your dad treat women? When I was 13, my father gathered me and my two sisters in the living room and announced our new household rule. From now on, females in this house are forbidden from sitting or lying down, he said. Standing is the natural position of service. You will stand at all times, including when you sleep. My sister Opal laughed nervously, thinking it was a joke. Dad backhanded her across the face. Does that feel like a joke? Sitting is laziness. Lying down is surrender. Women in this household will stand and serve, or they will suffer. This wasn't completely out of nowhere. Dad had always treated us like we were less than human. He made Mom eat standing at the kitchen counter while he sat at the table because women don't deserve chairs. He never let his daughters go to school because education made females forget their purpose. Mom never defended us because she'd been broken years before any of us were born. But the standing rule was a new level of evil. He made us watch as he dragged every chair out of our bedrooms. He removed our beds and replaced them with wooden poles bolted to the walls. You'll sleep standing up leaning against these game, he explained. Like horses. Horses don't need to lie down and neither do females. That first night was torture. My legs shook for hours as I tried to sleep propped against the pole. Every time I started to drift off, my knees would buckle and I'd jerk awake. By morning, my ankles were swollen and throbbing. Dad inspected us at breakfast while we stood at the counter. Good, he said. You're learning. The rules got stricter every week. We weren't allowed to lean against walls because that was partial sitting. Dad installed cameras to make sure we never cheated. If he caught us bending our knees too much, he'd make us stand on one leg for hours. Pain builds character, he'd say. Your future husbands will thank me. After 6 months, my body started breaking down. My feet swelled so badly I couldn't fit into shoes. My legs turned purple from the knees down. My younger sister Pearl developed blood clots, but Dad said she was being dramatic. Women have been standing for centuries, he told the emergency room doctor. She's just weak. He pulled Pearl out before anyone could ask questions. At night, I'd hear my sisters crying against their poles. Opal's ankles had swollen to twice their normal size. Pearl could barely walk. I started losing feeling in my feet completely. Mom begged Dad to let us rest just one night. They're children, she pleaded. Look at their legs. Dad grabbed her by the hair. Are you questioning me? Maybe you need to start standing too. After that, Mom slept against a pole with us. A year into this, Dad's sister announced she was getting married. We were required to attend. Dad gave us strict instructions in the car. No sitting during the ceremony, no sitting at the reception. If anyone asks why you're standing, say you prefer it. We made it through the ceremony by standing in the back row. During cocktail hour, we pressed ourselves against the wall while everyone else sat at tables. Dad's sister, our Aunt Cordelia, kept glancing over at us. She walked up with concern on her face. Girls, why won't you sit down? There are plenty of chairs. We prefer standing, I said, just like Dad taught us. Cordelia looked at our father. He smiled and shrugged. They're very active. Can't keep them still. During the reception, Pearl's legs finally gave out. She collapsed hard, cracking her head on the marble floor. Cordelia rushed over and knelt beside her, and when she did, Pearl's dress rode up past her knees. Cordelia screamed so loud the band stopped playing. Pearl's legs were purple and black from the knees down, covered in open sores where the skin had split from swelling. Her feet looked like balloons about to burst. What happened to her? Cordelia shrieked. Dad pushed through the crowd. She has a medical condition. I'll handle this. But Cordelia was already reaching for Opal, pulling up her dress to check her legs, then mine. All 6 of our legs looked exactly the same. Destroyed, discolored, dying. What did you do to these children? Cordelia screamed at my father. What did you do to them? This is none of your business, Dad said, trying to grab my arm. We're leaving. 3 of my uncles stepped in front of him. You're not taking them anywhere. Dad tried to push past and they tackled him to the ground. Cordelia called 911 while cradling Pearl's head in her lap, sobbing and apologizing over and over for not seeing it sooner. The paramedics said Pearl would have lost both legs within a month. Opal needed surgery to remove blood clots. I had permanent nerve damage. A detective asked Dad to explain himself at the hospital. He actually tried to justify it. Standing builds discipline, he said. I was repairing them to be proper wives. The detective stared at him. You nearly killed your own daughters? Dad shrugged. They're just women. He got 15 years. Mom testified against him in exchange for supervised visitation. My body still doesn't understand that it's allowed to rest now.